Oops. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 58 of Stories That Impact, a place where people like you and me come here to impact the world. Today, my guest is my lovely colleague, my friend, and my mentor, Fatha Khan. Hi, Fatha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I'm very excited to be here, Amit, on your talk show Stories That Impact. Very powerful.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome once again. Well, before I hand over the mic to Fatah, let me talk about him a little bit. We all are, most of us, I mean, most of our viewers are actually working people. They're those 9 to 5 job guys. And most of the time, our entire life goes into the 9 to 5. And it's not just the 9 to 5, it's always about those degrees and certificates and advanced trainings and things that we keep looking into so that we make the 9 to 5 a better place to be, I would say. Now, for Fatah, it all started actually when he lost his job, and the whole world actually came tumbling down. It can happen, right? Because job is the only likely livelihood that one has. Now, being a shy person, he was unable to channelize his emotions during that time and in the right direction. After getting some bit of composure himself, and with his blessing from his father and the knowledge and the wisdom that his father gave it to him, he evolved, and now he's on a path to impact 1 million lives, helping them to find their passion and purpose so that they can unlock the full potential. Now, it's also very amazing that, Fatah is a Fatah calls himself as a mid-career transformation coach. We'll know it further. He is a TEDx speaker, so that's fantastic. And he's also author of the best-selling book called as Build Your Dream Career. Now, Fatah, tell me, first of all, let's go back. I always like to understand before we talk about your present, and I would also like to really hear about the TEDx talk and your book and all the accomplishments. But let's go back, like a time when you were doing your 9 to 5, and what happened with your job. That you had to leave.
Okay. So thank you, Amit, for first of all giving me this opportunity because Stories That Impact, the show that you are running, is amazing. I've been watching it, and the kind of people that you have been bringing, and the kind of energy that you bring in this show, and what you are showing to people through their stories, right? It's really impacting, and it's influencing, and I think it's inspiring a lot of people out there. So congratulations for doing this wonderful job.
Thank you.
And coming back to my story, in my corporate job, I think the first job that I started was in a call center. I did my engineering. I completed my engineering with great marks there. Right, I had about 77% average and all of that. But the struggle in my life was my confidence, my low self-image, right, and because of which I felt IT is a big mountain to me. I was not able to crack interviews in IT world. So I thought, okay, fine, why not get into something that I can get started with? So that's where I got started with call center. And Unfortunately, or whatever my skills or my knowledge, the limitations I had actually showed up again there, because within 1.5 months I was thrown out of that call center, saying that my English is bad, right? My communication is poor, and the personality also showed up there because I was not able to talk to people properly. I was shy, and a lot of things showed up there, and then they threw me out of the job. So that was my first corporate exposure. Right, joining in, excited, took the first month salary, and then in the next second month, even before the month completed, I was thrown out. So that hit me hard, because everyone comes with dreams in the corporate world, and I started with, if not big dream, with a small dream, instead of IT, starting with call center, but then being thrown out. And I said, okay, let me try again. But my confidence had gone more down, and I thought IT cannot happen for me. So I again joined a call center and started from there, through the call centers. Worked very hard because I wanted to get into my dream company, Cisco. Networking was my passion at that time, computer networks. And night I used to work in the call center, and mornings I used to wake up really very early after like sleeping for a few hours, and then go for trainings, learn about computer networks. And that's how I got into a startup, small startup initially, doing networking job again, like working across shifts, working in the day shift, again going back in the night shift to the same call center, to make it happen in terms of as a network admin there, not as a call center agent. And that continued, and finally made it into Cisco, my dream company, right, where I was able to get in. And then that made me like, after seeing these people, the successful people, made me realize like what took me those 8 long years. Why did I fail initially in my career, right? And I started learning by watching people, by talking to people. All of that was going through, but again, challenges were there. I was growing well in my profession, but what happened is my personal life gave me a hit.
Wow, what happened?
uh, it was like 4 years back, during May 2017. My dad was going through some health issues, and he was recovering. And my focus was like between job and my dad. I used to give a lot of time at my family to take care of my dad, to take him to hospitals and all of that. And he was recovering, but one fine day, I was sitting with him, talking to him on a weekend. It was a Sunday, and then I just stepped out, and then I listened him like screaming, and suddenly enter into the room, back into the room, to see him taking his last breath. And that shook me inside out. That shook me inside out, because I was successful on the job, and after all the struggles, I was making good money. I was traveling places, especially US, regular travels to that, living in 5 stars, have house, everything was accomplished. But then that one important person from your life is gone.
Mm.
So basically, that shook me, and that made me realize how selfish life I was living. And just living for myself, doing that 9 to 5 job, taking care of my family, eating all good food, having good clothes, everything. But then what am I giving back to this society? What am I giving back to this world? And I started asking some very deep questions which I had never asked in my life. Like, what is the meaning of my life? Right? Um, my dad, who was my dearest person, whom I loved a lot, right? And then he died right in front of me. But did my education, did my degrees help me to save him? Right? It was his time to go, and he's gone. And what did he take away with him? Did he take away his degrees, or did he take away his property, his money, or did he take away even his kids, including his favorite kid, right? Me. Said, no, he did not take away anything from here. But I realized he had done a lot of good service, and he took away those prayers which were always there with him. Right? People respected him, people loved him. And I was like, "Mm, can I bring back that presence of dad in my life? Right? In terms of whatever he was doing, can I be that person who can now start serving others. Right? And that gave me a different journey altogether. That's when I started with NGOs. Right, I started going to NGOs, started going to some remote schools and colleges, because my dad had come from a village, right, and he strongly believed that education is the one weapon which can transform the world. He was a big believer of Nelson Mandela's proverb that education is the weapon that can change the world, right? And then I took up that mission from him, and I started working to help the people, in the students basically, in the remote schools and colleges, to help them through career guidance and all of that. And that gave me some sort of fulfillment, and I continued for some time. And during that meantime, I lost my job again for the second time, because my focus was divided there, right? And the corporate world, we know the kind of the expectations that they have, the competition in the world, right? And they don't care whether personally what is happening at your end. You lose your dad, you lose your mom, you lose whatever you lose in your life. It's for them, it's like results. If there are no results, then you don't really matter for them. And that again happened with me. I lost my job for the second time, but I was able to recollect on the job front, because I was very strong on my skills, confidence, everything was like on top of the world. So I was able to recover that. But I realized so many people I had already seen, like, going through this kind of a challenge as well, losing job. And for some of them, losing job was the end of the world,
Mm,
right? Because their
true.
families were dependent, mentally they were so disturbed. A lot of things I had seen, like, I've seen people where teams where we were 100 and then suddenly reduced to 50. I've seen people who had like 20, 25 plus years of experience, started their career in one company and lived in that company for years together, and they were thrown out, right? People who were in their late 40s and 50s, they were thrown out at big positions. So I realized that people can are not able to handle this. People need some help there. People need some guidance how to handle this mid-career crisis, how to handle this midlife, in terms of, because now career is not only career, right? Career is also related with life. So I realized people need some help there. And through the transformation journey, I found one person called Dev Gadvi, who is my mentor and your mentor, right? And that happened 2 years back. And when I met him, I realized, like, yeah, I can also do something really good to the society, not only at the student space, but at a space where I was, the pain that I felt the most in terms of the careers and all of that. And that's when I took up this mission to start helping the mid-career professionals to accelerate their growth. And I do this even without any advanced degrees and certifications, because I walk that path and I've seen that degrees and certifications are not the one that help. It's the real skills. So that's where I started helping people, and then showing that real message and helping them in their transformation in their careers and life.
Mm, true. Wow. Wow. What a amazing, amazing story, right? From being a shy person to getting work into call center, being dumped there in a way, then going back, working in your favorite company, Cisco, traveling on shore so much, earning good money, unfortunately losing your father, and also getting to know that life has more meaning and purpose than just doing your 9 to 5 and having a lavish lifestyle in a way. It's not bad to have that, but with the purpose now, it just gives a whole new meaning to what you do. And
Very
of
true.
course, now moving forward to help mid-career people. And I completely agree, because uh, on the fact that when I see a lot of people, like 2008 there was a downfall. Of course, I'm a victim of 2001 9/11 crash, where I didn't had any job. And this portion, like once you pass that 15, 18 years of experience, then it becomes a little challenging, because you have this new whole set of generation that's coming across and probably becomes a threat some ways. But it's really interesting now, because I want to now jump on to the things that you actually help. So first of all, tell me, in now current situation, let's say for example somebody who comes in with a So I assume that you would help people who are with job and without job both, right? In
Right.
that framework, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So help me understand and let my viewers also understand that what exactly do you do? If you can just give us some steps of, how do people reach to you, and what exactly do you help them with?
Okay. So first of all, through this journey, after starting with my transformation, I did take some time out, and then I said, why not put down the knowledge in form of my book as well? Because 2 years back, when I started this self-development journey, I started contributing through my content. I started making a lot of videos so that people can use the content and get the knowledge from there, get ideas from there. So I started writing some content, so people started watching my content on social media, especially on LinkedIn, and started reaching back to me. And that was the time, like I started with giving a lot of one-on-ones to people, so that I can understand more of what do they really need. Right? I used to give a lot of free one-on-ones. I remember, like 1.5 year back, or even at least 1 year back, um, regularly, like spending a lot of time with people, getting on one-to-ones, understanding them. And I used to do a lot of free sessions on every weekend. I used to do sessions on like interview mastery, then resume writing mastery, LinkedIn mastery, career goals mastery. So I used to do a lot of free sessions on weekends, which I used to announce on social media. And that's how I started. And then I also wrote my book, which is there in Amazon, Build Your Dream Career. So people start picking up that book. Now I have a specific process that I've set up, because now that the kind of number of mentees have increased, the kind of work that I do have increased, so all of that has increased. So because of which, now what I do is, when people reach out to me, I first redirect them through my book, right? Because I have already put down a lot of things in a structured way in my book. So somebody does not have to like spend 1 hour, and I may also not be able to spend 1 hour with so many people reaching out to me through social media channels. So I tell them, read my book. And yes, people do read my book, and then they say, Fatha sir, it's a lot of value in terms of whatever you have spoken about LinkedIn, or about cracking interviews, or about goals. So they go through that, and even after that, some people might have still some questions based on their situation. So then my team redirects them to my weekend webinars. I do a weekend webinar, which is again free, right? Where people can come learn. That's a 2 hour masterclass, about 2.5 hours, where I share a lot of secrets that people can use to help themselves to grow in the corporate world, and to accelerate their growth without any advanced degrees or certifications. Now, there in that webinar, the masterclass, I talk about what are the real secrets, what are the real things that you need to know and learn, so that you can grow fast. Right? And it took me a long time to actually learn that. So I share those secrets in the free masterclass, and I do answer people's questions at the end of the masterclass. And from there, if people are willing to like look forward and then learn more, that's when they actually sign up to my mentorship and to my other programs, which I have through recorded courses or live sessions, whatever. And that's the process they follow. And then that's how somebody who is like, okay, fine, I want to be associated for a long term, then they get into my mentorship, and then that's how the transformation happens.
Interesting, interesting. So tell me something, like, now that and how did you manage to get onto the TEDx platform? What I mean to say is not manage. What I mean to understand is that so you've been shy, right? So that's where my question is, because you're a shy person. You were a shy person. Let me put it this way: you were a shy person, and moving from there to giving a TEDx talk, it requires a lot of things, correct? Now there are many viewers, okay, probably, and even I'm very much curious to know this, is how, because a lot of shy people feel that they are like introverts, they can't speak, and they have this own limiting beliefs that they carry sometimes, all right, just because they think that, oh my god, it's a big thing. And TEDx is a huge platform for millions and millions of people, okay, itself.
Yeah.
So I want to know that, what made you that, and did you had those all sort of jitteries, butterflies in your stomach, and how you landed there?
Yeah. So thank you for giving me this opportunity because I think I wanted to make a point also there when I went on the TEDx stage. I wanted to prove to people and I wanted to inspire people by whatever your tagline here today is on your talk show, right? The stories that impact. Now, for my story started at least 30 plus years back from my school days. I was very passionate about public speaking. At that point of time, I did not knew about TEDx because I studied in a very small school. It was not a CBSE, it was not an ICSE, it was a state government syllabus school where it was a very small school near my house. And every day in the morning, there used to be an opportunity for people to go on the stage and maybe read a quote or read the newspaper, something around that. And in the school, every day they used to ask who wants to like do it the next day in the morning. And I could see very few people raising their hands because people were shy addressing or standing in front of like 300, 400 students right in the morning. Not everybody wanted to do that because they knew that other students would make fun. They were not confident. And I don't know, somehow, though I was shy, I had this passion, this burning thing inside me that I want to be on that stage. I love that stage. It was not a big stage though. It was like just those three stairs, and then you are standing on the top of that fourth stair. That becomes your stage. But I love that stage for some reason, and I raise my hand every single day in my school, saying that I want to be there. And if there was somebody who was raising their hands, the teacher would give them the first preference because I was always raising the hand. But most of the times, I got the opportunity. And I used to be there on the stage early morning, maybe reading a quote or the newspaper or something. And for me, at that time, effective public speaking was speaking very loud. Right? Because there was no mic in the school, right? We did not even used to have a mic. And then I used to speak very loud, and people even outside the school campus would hear me. The vendors, the ice cream wala and other guys used to hear to me the my voice. So but then every time I stood there, I was bullied. I was made fun of. After that, the entire day, I was like, even including my friends, they used to laugh at me because my English was not good. And I used to scream, and I thought that was effective public speaking. So people used to make fun of me. But for some reason, I made it something like I can't give that up, right? Let people keep making fun of me. I will keep going on that stage again and again. And that I used to do, and that somewhere became my first passion in my life, public speaking. And I continued during the school days, during the college days also. Whenever I got an opportunity to get on stage, I used to get on stage. That's how it continued. And in the corporate world also, when I joined, I used to love to going on stage, but I did not knew how to become a good public speaker. And one day again, reality struck with me because in Cisco, when I was working as a program manager, I was like giving a session for a new product release to a big team from US, Europe, and everywhere. And I did that session, and immediately post that session, my team members started messaging me, Fatah sir, you are great, awesome as usual. And I was on top of the world, and immediately I got a call from my manager from Europe. And then she said, Fatah, what were you doing there on that particular session? Nobody understood you, right? She was very open on that call, and she said, Fatah, the first thing and the topmost priority for you for this entire year is work on your communication skills.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was like, again, oh my God. For me, immediately, those pictures started coming in front of me about me being thrown out of my first job, me being bullied in front of my colleagues, my classmates because of my poor English. And then said, it's been long time now. I need to improve on my English. I need to do something. And that's when I joined Toastmasters Club.
Mm.
And I wanted to be in the best clubs, and I started looking for the best clubs, and I got Bangalore Toastmasters Club, which was like a very old club. It was one of the top club. Getting inside that club as a member was a very difficult thing. I remember I went to that club for at least 4 months, right? And they didn't make me a member at all. They said, keep coming, we want to see like if you are serious about it, right? And I
Mm.
went through a small program from them called Speechcraft, which was a fast track program of about 8 weeks where we get opportunity to talk. So I did that. I learned from there. I learned dressing sense. I learned articulating and all of that. And then, but they actually made me run through for 4 months, and I'm thankful to them because they made me understand the value of that club and also the value of this public speaking again. And once I was able to learn public speaking from there, then I got an opportunity to give a keynote speech at one of the vendor places, Infosys Pune, because I was handling multiple vendors through Cisco as a program manager. And I went there, Pune, and I delivered a keynote speech. And for the first time, I was like, earlier in the corporate world, I used to stand beside behind the dais, right, hiding myself. Now, for this first time after learning from Bangalore Toastmasters Club, I went right in the middle. I asked for a mic, the hand mic or the one that is the wireless one, and I stood right in the middle of that stage and I delivered a keynote speech. And after
Wow.
that, that was the first time I felt like, wow, like a celebrity thing. Because after that speech, people, all the people from the Infosys started coming and then like, Fatah sir, can we take a selfie with you? Can we take a selfie? I'm like, wow, right? This is something I was looking for time for a long time, and I
Hmm.
realized yes, now I have to like go to the next levels. So I started working, and I then I wanted to get on TEDx stage, but I was not trying because I did not knew that even if I will be able to reach there. But
Hmm.
after joining the self transformation, self development industry 2 years back, I started looking out for TEDx speeches. I applied at multiple places. I made multiple attempts, but it failed. Finally, I got an opportunity at one of the TEDx platforms. And then I said, what is the topic that I want to share here? And the topic very close to my heart was is always about be 100% you. Right, this was my first English poem that I wrote during the Toastmasters Club when I joined Toastmasters Club.
Hmm.
And then the same thing is also being written in my second book, which is Be 100% You. It is all about accepting yourself, right, loving yourself more than anyone, and believing in yourself. Because I strongly believe when you have accepted yourself and when you love yourself more than anyone and when you believe in yourself, then you can achieve anything and everything, be it
True.
TEDx or be it anything in your life. And that's the message I wanted to give the audience. And TEDx was the best stage for me to get on there. So I got an opportunity, and then I used that opportunity to share about how people can unlock their full potential. So that's been my journey through the TEDx, and I'm hopeful that that can inspire a lot of people to unlock their full potential and to be 100% themselves.
Awesome. Awesome. There are some comments from Lifestyle Thrills, and I'll show the last two ones. Great personality. Congratulations. This came in when you just joined at that time. Since you were in the flow, I didn't bother you. And this is the latest comment is what a story. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
there is one more. I don't know. Pradeep, your comment, we cannot see it, but if you can just type it again. Or maybe it's some emotion or the smiley thing. Fantastic, fantastic. Time always flies when you talk to interesting people, and that's a fact on stories that impact. Is because I always try to see that, or is it possible to curb it down to 30 minutes, 25 minutes, but it always flies through. But we still have more. So, Fatah, I want to know now further. Oh, there you go. His comment is up. Pradeep's comment. Let's share that authenticity is the key you show how to live with. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Pradeep. Thanks for that.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Pradeep. So now that you passed through your journey, you went through definitely lots of ups and downs as well, and now you're at a stage where you want to help people uh, to find their passion and purpose and serve the community better. Now, my question is in general is that uh, we have shared some of the links for you right on the group. I mean, in all the platforms, right? That's the best way people can reach to you. Correct? Am
Yeah.
I right?
Right.
So, just for everyone's purpose, these are. Oh, you cannot paste a lot of links together. That's weird. I'll do that once again. Sorry. Now, oh, there's one more comment from Deepti. Your determination of improving yourself is commendable.
Yeah.
Very
Thank you, Deepti.
awesome. So now, based on the same thing, so determination. So now you said that. Can you you just mentioned and about your second book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Share something on that more. Let's just unreveal it a little more and make everyone curious.
Okay, so second book is something that I started at least 2 years back. I had actually planned that as my first book, right? But then I realized there are so many queries coming on the careers, right? And I was already doing some programs. I was already doing mentorship on the careers, and then I said there is a huge demand. There are people who are looking for this forward. And second book was something that I wanted more time in terms of I wanted to cover some very important aspects of it, not only about my journey, about how people can break those limiting beliefs, how people can actually fight that issues, the challenges about low self image, and very important aspects like gratitude, how gratitude can help them, how affirmations can help them, right? How somebody who is not having like any big degrees, who does not come with some big schools or colleges, or who has low self confidence and all of that, how still they can work on themselves, and how they can actually, instead of being somebody else, right? A lot of people see, okay, fine, this guy is successful, that guy is successful. Instead of becoming someone else, becoming that best version of yourself, right? And then going all out, unlocking your potential, because you have all in it in you. You don't have to find anything out there, because I strongly believe God has blessed all of us with the best things, right? Because who else knows what is best for us? So he has blessed us with all of the things, but we human beings, we tend to start comparing. And I think that is how we have been conditioned right from our school days. Even our parents, unknowingly they do this, that see, that guy is a first ranker, you should try to be like him. See, that girl is like very good in studies, you should try to be like him. So that comparison somewhere has like gone very deep inside us, and we always try to see, I can become like him, can I become like that person? You don't have to become like anyone in this world. You just need to be 100% you, because God has blessed you with all the things that you need. It's just that you start working on yourself, right? Understand who you are, understand your strengths, understand your weakness, start working on them. And if you are able to unlock your full potential, right, then you will be able to get whatever success you want in your life. And that is all the book that is covering about, how you can do it through multiple steps. I talk about the multiple steps. I talk about like yeah, confidence, courage, self belief, and all of that is covered in my second book.
Wow, interesting. Very interesting. Now, tell me, most likely my second last question, but how's your day like? Like, when do you get up? How's your entire day looks like?
Okay. So thank you for giving this opportunity, because earlier my day was like haphazard, I would say, and it was like monotonous in the corporate life. I knew that, okay, fine, I have a job that I need to go to work, right? And even if it was work from home or whatever, like wake up by say 5 a.m. again, like do some morning rituals. I still had morning rituals even before I joined the self development industry. But I was like, okay, fine, go to job, come back, and then like spend some time with family, sleep. That was how my typical day was. But if you
Hmm.
ask me today, in the past 2 years, this has changed a lot. My morning starts with my morning rituals. Like I wake up by 5:30 in the morning, right? And I start with gratitude. I start with my prayers, right? Expressing gratitude towards the universe, towards everybody who is there in my life, whatever I have been blessed with. I do that. Then I have my exercise. I work on my physical fitness, because this is one thing I got as a gift even from my mentor. He says givers, right? And I started practicing it very regularly. Givers is gratitude, imagination, visualization, exercise, and reading books, right? So that is how I start my day, by gratitude, imagination, visualization, exercise, and yes, reading some books or maybe listening to audiobooks. That's how I start my day. And then I have my then I have my breakfast. I have my early breakfast. Then I have my like one-on-one calls that happen. I schedule my one-on-ones with my mentees which is typically like about 2 to 3 weeks. That's how the entire month goes on, where from morning, say about 9 or 10 a.m. till about 6 p.m., it's like giving the slots, and then people are booking the slots, and then my mentees, we have the one-on-ones and all of that happen. And in the evenings, typically, in the evenings, it was like book reading or making some content and all of that. But these days, it has been busy, like doing my own talk show as well, right? I have been aggressive in terms of like doing more of the shows, because I want to bring more people, so that they can inspire and they can help. Because I believe when people see others getting that success, when people get those hints and that formula or the steps that they have followed, then it can help others to fast track. So that's somewhere I spend 1 hour, and then I have my back end meetings with my team and the mentors with I work with. So that continues till about 12:30, right? So again, content creation, all of that is there. So typically it starts from 5 a.m. till about midnight 12, right? And in between, whenever I get my breaks, I like to spend that playing with my daughters, right? Spending some time with my family. And I have a amazing community already. Some people are out here, and you are also part of my community, where I spend time in terms of interacting whenever somebody needs my help, or when I need to talk to someone, right? So that's how, like, interactions, networking, being a part of this community, all of that helps me.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. That's very interesting. I mean, your entire schedule. The reason I asked is because a lot of my viewers, who keep following me, and part of the stories that impact as well, many come from the same corporate backgrounds, and they sometimes they find it hard to understand that the 24 hours is blessed to every damn person on this planet. And it's just the fact that how you utilize is the most important thing. It's not about the shortage of time, it is about how do you utilize it, in what ways. And
Yeah.
that's why I
So
thought, I would ask
yeah.
you.
So Amit, if you allow me, I just want to add one more thing here, because
Please.
this question I know that many people ask, and I was also in the corporate world, and many people who enter into self development or want to grow, they ask this question, like, I have my 9 hours or 10 hours of my office. How do I still work on my self development? So this is like, today people might be thinking I'm out of job, so I'm able to manage this. But this was my schedule even when I was in job, right? The schedule is basically like, typically everybody starts their job either at 9 or 10 a.m., right? And even before that, there is a lot of time. If you can win your morning, you can win your entire day. And I have read in one of the books saying that your first, the one third of your first, like the first part of your day, if you're able to pick up your major activities, and if you're able to do that, then your entire day will be like amazing. So for me, when I start at 5 or 5:30, I still have about 3.5, 4 hours in the morning, right, where I can do everything that I want to do for myself. I don't even like open my laptop for starting my office work. I would open my personal laptop and I do my personal work, because for me, I have a designated time for my office, right? So you can spend that time. Plus, again, like when you are in office, maybe 10 to 10 is the schedule for most of them today. It's okay. Work for those 12 hours. And after that, still you have a couple of hours before you go to bed, right? Can you take some actions at that point of time? Maybe read a book, maybe create a content, share some knowledge so that it can help others, right? If you want, you can definitely do it. It's not about how much time you have, it's about why do you want to do it.
True.
And if your
Absolutely.
reason is strong, you will never stop. You will never ask like, how can I do this? You will ask why, and then you will keep doing it.
True. True. Ramlal says, wow. That. And I think Pradeep has a question or comment. It says, isn't 7 to 8 hours sleep a healthy practice needed in long run, as many health masters say? Always this haunts me as a dilemma. They then justify what your body feels and what matters. Many people these days really burn the candle both sides.
Now, see, again, I would say here it's all about the discipline you maintain. I would say, Amit, because what you can definitely do is now, as I said, I sleep at 12 and wake up by 5:30. So if you see, it's about a 5.5 hours sleep, right? So and as Pradeep says, I believe yes, 7 to 8 hours are required, but there is an afternoon time that you can take a nap, right? And I believe, and I am a strong believer of a power nap, right? I either fix 1 hour in a day, like maybe in the morning after I'm done with that work, all the work and my breakfast and all of the things, and I take a power nap either between 9 to 10 a.m. or I take a power nap in the afternoon. Afternoon is typically what most of them recommend, and scientifically also I think it helps a lot when you are able to take a nap in the afternoon, about 1 hour, right? So that way you can still manage your 5.5 hours, 5.5 or 6 hours in the night, and utilize 1 hour in the day, which will make you more productive. If you can take that power nap, and once you are up, you are like, okay, fine, you, as if you have found another day for yourself.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to also say, Pradeep, what happens is, and I've learned this as well, is that, and many people say this, or let's quote it, uh, so-called the famous people of the world, is that sleep is quite overrated term. Okay, because many times people try to sleep those 8 hours, but they don't need that 8 hours. So what Fatah is saying, and even if I agree to it, that you sleep so that your body rests. And I actually I also take power naps. I have my work, but you get these breaks in between, right? So these 30 minutes, even 20 minutes, believe me, 20 minutes within my lunch time or any time when I feel that, okay, there's a time gap now, I take that nap. And he's absolutely right. It just recharges you for the next 6 to 8 hours like anything. So, yeah, that's a great tip. And Pradeep says, yeah, thank you for that. That's a really lovely tip. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, amazing. See, like I said, time will always fly by when you're listening to stories, and
Right.
especially at my place. Well, Fatah, we're almost at the end, and I can just continue going on asking so many things, probably with your life and other things. But we'll catch up again, and this also gives me an opportunity to bring you back again to the show. And once your second book is released, so we can discuss that at length. Uh, just quick question before I ask this: when do you plan to release your second book?
It should be early next year, 2022.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So everyone look out for that. You can also get message from me as well in my group that the book is going to be launched. So let's look out for that. And now, thank you, Amit. Should do that. Yep. Thank you. Yep. No worries, Pradeep. Thank you for being a lovely viewer and asking questions. It's always nice. Well, we are at the tail end of the show, and I would like to ask my common question that I ask all my guests is to Fatah, is that Fatah, do you believe that sharing stories can impact people?
I 100% believe in this, right? Because I think every one of us has a story, and I call it as the USP, right? That's your unique selling proposition, because there might be hundreds of people, there are lakhs and millions of people outside in this world, but nobody is like you, and nobody would have witnessed stories like you. Yes, similar stories people would have witnessed, the way you handle the experiences that you have. So each and every one of us has a story, and if we are able to talk that story out, we never know which part of the world, which person gets inspired from there, right? And which person gets a direction or a hope in life, right? Somebody who is come out of COVID, when he or she talks about it, right, somebody else at one the other part of the world gets inspired or gets that hope that if he or she is able to survive, I can also survive, right? If he or she has become a TEDx speaker, I can also become that. If he or she has become an author, I can also become that. So stories are, I think, very important, and we need to talk our stories more often so that it can help others. And I 100% believe and agree with you that stories really impact, and I'm very happy that I'm on your show today, because you are doing a wonderful job again here, like bringing people and talking about those real stories, so that people can get inspired, people can get that direction and hope, and then they can also get the kind of success and achieve their goals in their lives.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And the pleasure is mine. Well, before I end it, there is one question, and it's from Deepti. What's your favorite book so far?
Okay.
Interesting.
For me, this was the first self development book I read, which is my mentor's book. right? 80% mindset, 20% skills, which you can see right on top in my shelf behind me, right? That's where I started. I was not a person who was reading books, to be very honest. It started only about 2.5 years back when I started with this first self-development book, 80% mindset, 20% skills, by my mentor Dave Gadvi. And that's how my journey on books started. And then after that, I've been reading a lot of them, but this has been like my favorite.
There you go. Fantastic. And I've also put the name there. And so it also stays with the platform so that others can also watch it later. Wonderful, wonderful. This brings to the end of my 58th episode, an impactful one, another. And I would like to thank Fatah and I would like to thank all my lovely viewers. And if you want to connect with Fatah, all the respective links are being shared on all the three platforms. Please ping him, understand what he's doing, understand in all the aspects. If you find somebody who's struggling in the jobs area, the place where they are like in their 15s and 20 years, and if you want to understand how he came out of his shyness, about his book, about his upcoming book, does he write, what videos he puts across, please do ping him. And if you want to come to my show and impact the way Fatah did, or someone you think can impact, please ping me and I'll get back to you. With that, I would end my show, but before that, I will let Fatah to close the show with his last comment or whatever he wants to share with us today.
Thanks, Amit. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity. So, thank you. And thank you for all the viewers who are watching us. And I know later some of them would be watching on the recording. So, thank you, everybody, for watching us. And I want to end this particular stories that impact the episode with me on by reciting the two lines, the first two lines of my first English poem, which is going to be my second book. Be you to yourself, be true to yourself. You were born unique, so always be yourself.
Wow, that's awesome. Can you repeat it again, please?
Yeah.
One more time.
So, yeah. Be you to yourself, be true to yourself. You were born unique, so always be yourself.
Fantastic. Absolutely right. You're born unique. Always be yourself. With that, we end our lovely episode. Thank you very much for that lovely poem, Fatah. And God bless you and God bless all my viewers. Have a lovely, lovely day in India and have a fantastic evening in Melbourne. Till then, see you. Bye bye. Thank
Yeah.
you, Fatah.
Thanks, Amit. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.